Mm-mm-mm. All right. Seems like we are back on the live here. Let me finalize a few things, and then I will dive into today's live stream. I just want to do a quick post on X also that we are live now, so everybody that has some time can be tuning in. Okay, it's working. Mm. Okay, I just did a quick post on X, so we can dive in. I just wanted to quickly tune in the live since it has been some days ago. We were live for the last time, so that's why I wanted to do it today once again, because I want to be live streaming more and more now. Because of course, like you guys know, the U.S. government shutdown is over. We do have more and more economic data coming out, and I just wanted to quickly discuss something I just saw coming out. I think an hour ago, because an hour ago we got some delayed data from October, U.S. jobless claims. We got the confirmation of the jobless claims here of I think about the third week of October. It was, and once again, U.S. jobless claims coming out higher than expected. So what I was looking at, and I'm also just on the news, of course, and researching it, but it seems like the US labor market keeps on weakening. And that is something which I find quite interesting because we have some rate cut odds that are still lagging behind. The market is not thinking the Fed is going to cut rates in the next meeting. So I was just researching a little bit to see how fast the labor market is actually weakening here. Um, and I just want to give some thoughts on that. I want to discuss some upcoming economic data, basically building up to the next FOMC on the 10th of December. I'm also looking into live streaming all of this data in the upcoming weeks from here because I think it's going to be very important data we have ahead of us before the next FOMC. And also, of course, since Bitcoin's weakness, and that's something I do find interesting, Bitcoin's weakness did start mostly when, and let me see if I can quickly show that. Um, wait one quick second. I would just boom, boom, boom. Okay, back at it. It should be getting started, but what I also do find interesting is that since the rate cut odds on Polymarket, the chances of another 25 bps cut, since those chances have been decreasing on Polymarket, falling all the way back from about 90% now to 44%, which I find quite fascinating looking at the Bitcoin price. That's also somewhat of the moment marking the Bitcoin top, and since then we have only seen weakness. So I think this is a big factor for crypto, and if we can be seeing these odds coming up in the next few weeks, it could get quite interesting fast. And um, actually, it is coming back up a little bit because the jobless claims, the confirmation of the data we've seen coming out just a few or just an hour ago. Let me come to my own page. Here I posted also 232k still cooling, but no red flags. Somebody's saying, yeah, maybe that's the truth. Let's see. Um, but yeah, okay. Let's dive into the other subject of the live stream I do wanted to discuss, because this is also somewhat of a kickoff live stream for all of the economic data we will be live streaming. Let's dive into the economic calendar so we can look at some upcoming events. Since today it's of course Tuesday, I think today not that much is happening actually on the economic calendar. I'm only watching US events. No, today not that much. I think most is starting tomorrow on Wednesday. We have some the PCE price index coming out, some inflation data basically. PCE price index, interesting. Jobless claims, Oh yeah, Wednesday is this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, initial jobless claims we've coming out tomorrow at 5:30. It just keeps on changing every single day, it seems like. Then core PCE at 7 p.m. This is the time zone I'm currently in, so I'm in the Dubai of in the UAE time zone now. PCE, so inflation data, US labor market data, and I think later on the day we have the FOMC minutes dropping, if I'm correct. Or oh no, I'm too far. Let's see, it's not. We should be looking at this week and not next week. Today only a lot of Fed speeches, Fed Waller, Fed Logan. Mm, yeah, tomorrow I think most is starting actually. Fed Williams, FOMC minutes at 11 p.m. for me. 11 p.m. Also Nvidia earnings later. You cannot see it on the economic calendar, but tomorrow we have the FOMC minutes and Nvidia earnings. Of course, Nvidia earnings important for the US stock market. Oh, I see some questions coming in the chat also. Let's look into the Nvidia earnings. Do we need to sell now or wait? When do we need to exit the market? When do you think Bitcoin will bounce back and how much? What about ETH? Yeah, we can just quickly discuss these things through the under content of the stream. Look, I've made a video about this morning, so I would highly advise you to go and watch this morning's update video because I think it's a very important one. Look, I think the general direction for Bitcoin currently is down. That is, we can all see it. Bitcoin is not looking that good. For your cycle basis, for your cycle theory, it seems like the bear market is in. If that's not going to be the case, you do want to see a quick bounce back for Bitcoin here. Of course, we also have the 2019 scenario, but just looking at Bitcoin now, no emotions involved, it's not looking very good. Looking at the 4-year cycle, looking all of the price data, short term, long term, it's not looking very good. That's something I do want to start with. And looking at the 4-year cycle, which is basically perfectly playing out once again, then we are looking into the following scenario. That's Bitcoin is going to find somewhat of a local bottom here, or drop ever so slightly lower and then find a local bottom, of course. And there is going to be a moment where Bitcoin will see a relief rally back to the top side, because it always sees, after breaking the weekly moving average during the post-halving years, we always see a relief rally back to the top side. So I don't think that's going to be much different. That's one of the big reasons I still have my Bitcoin positions open with, of course, tight stop losses. Keep that in mind, the very tight stop losses, because I think that's going to be crucial here. But I think the relief rally is coming up here. So if you would ask me how much do you think Bitcoin could bounce and Ethereum, look, I think this relief rally, if you're going to see a rejection at the 50 weekly moving average, then that is going to be the maximum of the Bitcoin bounce. Ethereum could follow a little bit. But if you're going to get rejected there, then we are going to drop much lower, because I think then there are just too many signals that history is exactly repeating according to the 4-year cycle, according to the post-halving years. And if this cycle is indeed more like 2019, like we have been discussing in the bull and bear case on the channel, in that scenario, we are not going to see something similar. But in that scenario, I would love to see Bitcoin now finding some positive momentum back to the top side. But currently, looking at the short-term price action, it's not really looking like it, to be honest. Bitcoin also dropped below the yearly open. We could not hold 92k. We dropped even lower than the CME gap. Short-term is not looking that amazing, I personally think. I just wrote out this important support zone where Bitcoin has been exactly bouncing from. High volume support zone, but we also dropped through this. We sliced through the liquidity of this high volume support zone, which is looking very weak for Bitcoin, I would say. I think there's possibility Bitcoin finds a local bottom, starts a relief rally now, but let's see, then probably you're looking into the 108k target maybe maximum. So yeah, when do you exit the market? I don't know, it depends on when did you enter the market. Are you already in a big loss? Are you in profit? If you're in profit, I would maybe consider exiting the market. Look, I've been taking profits a lot of times this bull market at 4k. When ATM did hit 4k at first, I did take a lot of profits on my spot holdings. I also tweeted about this. I remember a lot of people laughing at me. You're taking profits so early. Why would you do so? But now, yeah, who's laughing basically? Of course, I'm not really laughing because I do want the bull market to continue, but it shows that it's important to take your profits. I start on 50k and I will make a safe exit. You mean you start accumulating on the 50k? I start. I don't exactly know what you mean. Did you say 101 to 108k? Yeah, if Bitcoin is going to receive see a relief rally, there are a few levels. I think the 100k level is going to be a very important one. Then of course the moving average 50 as a possible rejection. That level is currently laying at about 102k. So 100, 102k, if you can break back above that, you're probably looking into 108k. But even that, I think, is not very likely, to be honest. I will start. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would just start making a safe exit now. Um, because now you're still in quite a big profit. 50k. I don't know if Bitcoin will drop as low as 50k. It would be somewhat of my ultimate low for Bitcoin, because looking into the charts, if we overlay this chart with the moving average to 100 trend line, like this, then we do see every post halving year, after we start the bear market breaking the 50 weekly moving average drop below. Usually we see somewhat of an higher high macro based, or lower low, I must say, macro based on the 200 moving average. So I think that's going to be an realistic bear market scenario once again. Last bear market dropped even below it, but look, everything around 50k, lower, a little bit higher, is going to be in very nice, are going to be very nice levels to DCA in. I'm looking into even starting to DCA from 70k Bitcoin, to be honest, because I think it's also going to be a massive opportunity. And I was talking about this on X and YouTube. The thing is, you can be very sad that the bear market might be getting started here, but on the other hand, we can also feel blessed that we can accumulate some Bitcoin cheaply. Because there's also going to be a moment someday, and it may be not this cycle, but I was making the comparison earlier with the Nasdaq. There is going to be a moment where Bitcoin breaks the 4-year cycle, and then you don't have the bear markets to accumulate anymore. But for now, it seems like we are getting another bear market. Just looking at the price data, price action, or we need to see a very strong bounce in the next few days here. Because for now it seems like we are just going to get another weekly close above the 50 weekly moving average. But still a lot can happen here, of course. Market never topped in such fear before. Indeed. Look, the market top does look a lot more like what we saw in 2019. Also topping not in euphoria. So that's why I'm also looking into the 2019 scenario. In 2019 also QT ended around here. Then we saw the start of QE in COVID. Can we see another black swan event? For example, the AI bubble bursting, QE getting started and then aggressively move higher. I think that's also a very likely scenario. But even if we are in the 2019 scenario, we are probably going to drop a little bit lower or just consolidate from here. Even then, it's not an amazing market, amazing period for the market, you know. But yeah, it doesn't align with the post-halving year, so that is the difficult thing with Bitcoin now. But we should also keep our eyes on the Federal Reserve monetary policy, because if QE is going to get started, we do know that it's looking much more like 2019 than, for example, what we saw during the post-halving years. Because, for example, the 2021 top is also very different. Here, the Fed started hiking rates a little bit later, actually hiking rates. The bear market started. We saw some big collapses. We dropped even below the moving average 200. So yes, very different. Also topping in euphoria, something we've not seen this cycle. Altcoins did move up during those years, also did not happen this cycle. So fundamentally, the cycle does look a lot more like 2019. Only thing is that it's a post-halving year. So yeah. What's most likely 100k? I think 100k is going to be in a very, very important level. If you see an ejection there, I would. Yeah, look, it's just it's just a very big level for most traders. So if you're going to see a rejection at 100k, I think it could go quite fast down from there. I would not say we are moving that much higher. There's also a reason why I stopped out my 103k trade, because I think the The entry was not that good, so now I only have trades open up to the 100k level. And if we can be reaching 100k around those levels, I will also be closing my trading positions most definitely. I think I should also be setting some take profits, but because now I only have the stop losses here, which I also shared in the private VIP group, by the way. So make sure to come over to this group if you're getting interested in that. If you do want to join, you can find the link in the description on the live stream here to the private VIP channel. I think it's very nice to just with those things, you know. I saw like a very big move down for Bitcoin yesterday, and I was like, I need to update the community about the stop losses, because of course I do want everybody to minimize losses once the market is truly coming down, and also to take profits at moments where I can be doing the same, or I think it's going to be wise. What do you think about the current fear and greed index levels around 10 to 15? Yeah, I did make a video about this. It's indeed looking very different than what we saw during all the years. Because looking at the fear and greed, let me show it. Bitcoin. If we put on a logarithmic scale and then fear and greed. Oh, this is the wrong one. Fear and greed. It is looking very different. Since normally those levels indeed do not align with the market top. On the other hand, I think people are just very scared since they know it's the ending of the 4-year cycle. So yeah, it's not actually here. We saw something similar in 2017 on the weekly perspective. I don't think it says that much, to be honest, because I think people are just very scared that the cycle's over, which is very logical, since we by now all know about the 4-year cycle. Everybody talks about it, everybody knows it, and is it now truly going to be the case once again that Bitcoin just ends a bear market? I think that is why there's so much fear in the markets currently. That's what I personally think. So I don't necessarily think that this has to be a signal that shows that this is not a market top. No, I don't think so. But this is indeed not something we've seen a few times before. Actually, here in 2018, I do see somewhat of a similar scenario. But it is quite rare that we see these signals. So, yeah, that's what I think. And I will buy back. Yeah, it sounds good. Okay, let's dive back into some, because I want to talk about some data. November 20 jobs data. Tomorrow FOMC minutes. Wednesday is tomorrow, of course, the FOMC minutes then. Thursday, unemployment rate, non-farm payrolls. This is going to be a massive day. Very, very important US labor market data. Then also later on the day, jobless claims, continuing jobless claims for a weekly average. A lot of stuff coming out. Friday, let's see what's on Friday. Fed balance sheet. Not that much on Friday. So I think most definitely Thursday and Wednesday are going to be important days for markets this week. And I will see how much I can live stream of these events. I will have to look into that. Let's see. And then the week after, which is, let me see, November 20th, November the 16th with GDP and inflation data, then payrolls, and then CPI and PPI. And then, of course, on 10 December itself, which is quite insane, we have both CPI data and the FOMC meeting on one day. So, yeah, quite insane. Let me also give an update on my Ethereum trading position, since, let me look how this position is looking now. Still in a small loss. I have my limit order at 2.8k still open. For the people that do want to join me with this Ethereum trading position, make sure to come over to LBank here, where you can claim a 50% deposit bonus and a generous refund on your first trading position, which is quite insane. And I was talking about this in today's update video this morning also. You do want to go long on support and not on resistance. So this is indeed going to be a good opportunity for Ethereum, in my personal opinion. No way financial advice. It is indeed a very risky, but I think good opportunity for Ethereum. That's why I keep my trade open. But Also, a lot is going to depend on Bitcoin, I personally think. But if you do want to join me, you can claim this bonus with the link in the description on this live stream here to claim the 50% deposit bonus plus $100 voucher plus a generous refund. So quite insane what L-Bank is offering here, in my opinion. Do we need to worry about the S&P being down? Also that it will affect Bitcoin? Look, I think Bitcoin has been showing that something is going on, and looking at it now that the bear market is going to get started, and most of the times crypto does front run equity, so it moves first, and then usually the US stock market follows during a major drawdown. So if the US stock market is going to come down aggressively now, I don't think crypto will drop by that much after that. It will not make a lot of sense, I think. It would not make that much sense. But let's see. I was looking into some CNBC and some other shows this morning, and the US stock market is also not looking that good. They're mostly talking about Bitcoin and what that's going to mean for the US stock market itself. Nasdaq, I think pre-market is also red today. So the US stock market futures. Um, but I think also the US stock market is only showing weakness because of the low probability of rate cuts, because I think the stock market's also looking for more stimulation. Um, Let me see, US 500. Now 10 o'clock. Um, US 100 futures. US 500. Maybe you should also look into Nasdaq. Yeah, Nasdaq also coming down ever so slightly, following Bitcoin. If you, for example, now overlay this with Bitcoin. Quite the insane decoupling. But I think Bitcoin is front running equities here. So if I don't think if Nasdaq just comes down, I think Bitcoin will neutralize at about these levels. Nasdaq comes down, and then from there you see like the next market move. I personally think. I've never sold Bitcoin before, so in my wallet, click sell and limit price to say 102k. Let me think. No, of course I don't know which exchange you're trading on, but looking at, for example, L-Bank, you can you adjust the leverage and stuff. I know if you're buying limit or spot, or if you're buying spot on leverage, both are possible. But if you do want to open at a certain position, you do indeed set your limit order, and then you set your price where you do want to accumulate. But now you're looking into selling, so you're going to set and take profit, which I can easily show here on VX. Take profit, stop loss. You're just going to edit take profit, and then your trigger price is going to be the price where you're going to get filled. Personally, I would just set a market order, I think, because then you're sure that it's truly going to get filled. But you should know for yourself. Do a little bit of research about limit and market orders, because it's good to know on your own also. Both will probably get filled, but do a little bit of research about it yourself. Watch some YouTube videos, limit orders, market orders. If you're going to set you take profit, then you will get filled at those levels. Then you're going to sell at those levels, because that's what you're looking to do. Of course, that is what you're looking to do. Okay, this was just somewhat of an first stream in a round I will be doing over the next few days and weeks because I want to build up together on the channel here towards that next FOMC meeting. I think it's going to be a massive one, very important one. Of course, the most important until the next one, but it is going to be an important one because I feel like this is the only thing that could be stimulating crypto in the near future. I don't see a lot of other bullish events or bullish catalysts incoming in the near future. So I think that's indeed going to be a very important meeting. And I want to be live streaming all of the data coming up and leading into this next FOMC meeting on the 10th of December. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, watch this morning's update video. I think this is a very important one. It's also performing quite well. I think it's packed with good information, so make sure to come and check it out. If you do want to start trading, check this bonus out in L Bank. 50% deposit bonus up to 2.5k, a generous refund up to 5k. You can be claiming both with the link in the description under this live stream also. Here I can just show it here. Make sure to come and check it out with this link here, plus that $100 voucher. So yes, an amazing bonus, my personal opinion. FOMC is Wednesday. No, FOMC is on the 10th of December. Tomorrow we have some FOMC minutes and some other data. Oh yeah, and the Nvidia earnings coming out. So that's next for Wednesday. Okay, guys. Watch your Telegram group again. Come over to the description on this live stream. Here you can join the VIP Telegram group. And there I have my own channel. And there I'm updating about all the stuff I'm seeing in the market. So yeah, make sure to come and check it out if you're getting interested in that. Then I do want to thank all of you guys for watching. Unfortunately, I do have to go. There's also not that much more to discuss. I do want to give my quick thoughts about the US labor market. Just wanted to spread out the message that we will be live streaming more because we have more data coming out. We can be talking a little bit more about the market. We can be making some forecasts. We can be doing some predictions. So looking forward to that. I will be back probably tomorrow and the day after with more live streams. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. Watch and like the latest YouTube videos. Then I will see you guys within the next video or live stream later.